Well, Mr. Lawrence Alobi is still with us. He is the former Commissioner of Police here in Abuja. Well, let's sink our teeth into the conversation now. And I was just wondering what you made of that particular headline. I don't know if you saw it over the weekend. It came out saying INEC kicks against the use of security personnel for rigging. It would seem that, this is coming from the by-elections that were conducted in River State. There were allegations that some security personnel were involved in aiding and abetting thugs in helping to disrupt the process. But we've also seen before that there were complaints of security personnel looking away while vote buying and things of the sort, things that should have no place in our elections, were taking place. What is your assessment of the role of security agencies or security agents, particularly the police, in our elections so far?
Thank you very much. First, like I said earlier, I'm sorry I didn't understand the earlier question or statement, but now I think the INEC is absolutely right to say that the police or the security agents are not supposed to be used to rig election or promote election or either create enabling environment for people to rig election. Because rigging itself is an offense. It's criminal. It's against the Electoral Act. And the police and other security agencies are supposed to provide enabling environment. The police are under Section 4 of the police are to prevent crime, detect crime, maintain law and order. If a crime we know that rigging is a crime all over the world. And then a police officer or anybody deployed for election duty is supposed to be educated on his role as a police officer or a security officer at the polling station. So his duty there is to prevent crime, ensure that the electorate vote without any intimidation or threat, and that the INEC officials, the electoral materials are protected, that at least he is there to ensure that the right thing is done.
What kind of instruction usually are given to security personnel deployed for elections? I mean, you should know about the police.
Yeah, you see, the point is that, again, training is very, very important, capacity building. One thing is that sometimes the police and other security agents are just deployed to police stations for election duty without being briefed or trained and given the capacity. What I used to do, in fact, some times ago, I think 2010 election, before 2010, before the election, I organized training in six police zones, and policing capacity beyond the police and on election during elections, because some of them don't even know what are the electoral offenses. What should they look for? At what point can someone be arrested? Some of them don't know. So they need to build capacity, sensitize them, let them know their duties and their functions. Because an untrained policeman who is deployed for election duty, he's just like a statute. He doesn't know what to do. He's only to be seen and to be heard. If you need to build capacity, he has to know the offenses that he has to look out for. He has to know what he ought to do, maintain law and order, ensure that nobody comes to disturb the electoral process or threaten the INEC officials or those who are there to vote, even the electorate. So this duty is actually starts, like I said earlier, pre-election, election period, and post-election.
Mr. Alobi, we understand that the committee that's looking at the INEC budget in the National Assembly is set to meet today. From what we're hearing, they're saying that the 189 billion naira budget for INEC has been thoroughly scrutinized, but that the remaining approximately 53 billion that's intended for the security agencies to oversee the election has not been scrutinized. In your view, do you have any concerns about this delay that's essentially delaying the release of funds to the security agencies to oversee this next election? Is there going to be enough time to get things in order, logistics, equipment, training, etc.?
Yeah, I think it's actually it's very, very serious actually, because security is key and central in electoral process. Like I said, the pre-election, the campaign will start, convention will start, the primary will start. The police need to provide security. You need to do kind of monitoring the activities of all political parties, all the politicians. They have to give a kind of a profile of all these people, intelligence about what they are doing and so forth. For instance, now, some unscrupulous politicians are already organizing youth arm them with illegal arms, train them like most of the cult boys are being used and so forth. So, like what happened what happened with this the past experience? So, the security agents need to be properly funded, and that is what one of the greatest challenges the police is having.
You've had extensive experience with election oversight. Can you give us a sense of what the timeline is in terms of what you need in terms of time to prepare for an election, and at what point do you think Nigerians should kind of ring the alarm bells about the lack of passage of this election budget?
It's like I said, there are three phases: the pre-election, the election period, the election itself, and the post-election. So the post-election, pre-election now this is the pre-election period. Election, not just election, not just that same day. No, there's a process. Now the government is supposed to fund all those stakeholders who are supposed to take active part in the electoral process. The police, the INEC, everybody needs to be properly funded for them to be prepared, so that to make sure that they render their services optimally in line with the laid down procedure and process. So say about at least this ought to have been done at least 6 months ago, because you need to train the men. Like INEC now need to train the coppers who are going to be deployed. Those are going to be the auxiliary staff who are going to be deployed. The police need to train the officers, need to procure equipment, and so forth. These are all things that need to be done. Like I said, they get intelligence gathering. You need to deploy their men to monitor the activities of politicians. So what are they doing? In terms of, are they getting anything like illegal arms? Are they procuring arms? Are they training people? And also, are there any plan to rig election and so forth?
Are you alarmed now that the election budget is yet to be approved?
I am disturbed.